let's go gambling!
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian. Today I'm playing with Neera, Wild Mage. This deck was a request from Highshelf, who has subscribed to my channel through the membership program. Thank you so much for supporting my stream and for requesting an updated Neera deck. I've built Neera before. She uses wild magic to cast one spell and turn it into another. She doesn't have the best control over her magic, so you have to roll on the wild magic table whenever you cast a spell with her out to get the next spell in your deck. When you cast your first spell each turn while Neera is in play, it's like the first spell after she comes into play, you can choose to change that spell into the next spell in your deck, putting the original spell on the bottom of your library. That means you can turn your Shove Aside into a Hullbreaker Horror, or your Brainstorm into an Emrakul. Neera is a great way to go chaos. You can build Neera in such a way where you're always playing spells that are useful in some way. You don't want to have too many spells that are just outright unplayable in certain situations, like counter spells, but modal counter spells being cast for free still get you something. Neera Wild Mage is a little bit unusual in that it's going to be pretty random what you get, unless you're stacking the top of your deck, using something like Otherworldly Gaze, Brainstorm, or one of the various scrying lands or surveilling lands. These are all really nice ways to get a little bit more control over what's on top of your deck, or you could just see what's on top of your deck using One with the Multiverse. In this deck, ideally you are getting some things that cast free spells, or just some huge haymakers and game-shifting cards for free off of Neera. But since Neera costs 6 mana, and then you have to cast another spell with her out, you're gonna need to ramp. So in this deck, you're going to notice a lot of removal, especially burn-based removal or removal that makes your opponent's threats into nothingness. And ramp. We got ramp. We have all these teeny tiny board wipes. As long as the board wipe doesn't kill Neera, it's fine. I have board bounces as well, like River's Rebuke and Cyclonic Rift. Though if you're casting Cyclonic Rift for free off of Neera, you won't be overloading it. This is a very fun way, though, to just make sure you're staying alive in the early game, get down that Neera, and then start casting the big spells. Something you will notice in this deck, though, is that you need to have spells to cast. So I've put in actually a lot of arena-only cards like Emporium Thopterist, Armed Scavenger, and Tome of the Infinite into this deck because they give you a spell every turn. And that spell can be used for recycling. You cast it, but you don't actually cast it. You're casting the next spell in your deck, which is what Neera is great at doing. So let's take her into the queue and do some wild magic. Soul of Windgrace, the cat who brings lands back from the graveyard. Either player's graveyard. Whenever Soul of Windgrace enters your attacks, you get a land from the grave under your control tapped, and you also can make him indestructible, or gain some life, or just discard and draw. And you can do all those by discarding a land from hand. A great way to put lands in the graveyard to bring them back for Soul of Windgrace's ability. Also well statted, a good attacker, and thankfully will hopefully be killable with this Molten Impact. I'm going to start with the Scalding Tarn. I'm not going to bother holding up blue mana. I just want to get my... Go! Surveil! Hit the mother load. No, I do not want that anytime soon. I'm probably playing the Emporium Thopterist next turn. The purpose of this card in the deck is to make a spell each turn, so I'll always have something for Neera. Even though those spells aren't that impressive on their own, they're Ornithopters, this card is actually a really great aggressive card. It's a 2-mana 1/1 that's essentially making a 2/2 each turn that it's out. But just the ability to have additional spells in hand, free spells, which are great with Neera, is really nice. My cat is on the floor, so I keep looking over there. So if you see me, like, giving the stink eye to something on the ground, it's because there's a cat who is giving me a stink eye and being a stinky little girl. Isn't that right, you stinky little girl? She's such a stinky little girl. It's my cat Scraps. We've got 3 mana on their side of the battlefield. They do have 2 lands in the graveyard. Very fetch. One of those was also off the Surveil. Scoot Bug. All right, I have a lot of those, like, board wipes in the deck, though, that just deal damage to everyone. Do I feel like I want to just kill the bug? It's probably worth it. Yeah, I'm going to take out the Scoot Swarm. and play this first Ornithopter. Next time I cast an instant or sorcery, I'll be dealing 3 damage to something. Chandra's able to deal 4 damage, so like Soul of Windgrace, I have a way to hit. Soul of Windgrace! Bringing out a land. But which one? A basic? A fetch? Oh, they took my Scalding Tarn. Okay. Chandra is also ramped for the purposes of this deck, since she can generate the 2 red mana. 0 mana 2/2 flyers every turn. Thop thop, let's go. So next turn, I have Chandra plussing to make the 2 extra red. Island, we play Neera, and then we have 1 red mana for the Otherworldly Gaze. And then we see what we get. Could be anything. Anything otherworldly. Unless I, like, kill Chandra here, which... Yep, nope, she's dead. Well, my Otherworldly Gaze is still 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker. Yeah, I did a Sylvan Safekeeper. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to cast the Otherworldly Gaze. And part of why I'm doing this is to set up the top of my deck, potentially for Neera. We're going to put the Ulamog a couple cards down. Just in case they kill the Thopterist, maybe I want to save this Ornithopter. Nah, this seems fine. Could have flipped an Ornithopter. I don't have any Ornithopters in my deck. Emporium Thopterist makes us Ornithopters. So, like, if I had shuffled my graveyard into my deck, which we can do off of Midnight Clock, Ornithopters will end up in there, but that's fine. Assassin's Trophy on this. Okay, so yeah, they're getting rid of it. And do I want to maintain the Ulamog on top? Nah, we go gambling here. So we're gonna grab this island. Thank you so much for the island, and I'm gonna recast my Gaze. Okay, Rebuke, Omni, Archmage's Charm. So we're gonna put the Omni at the bottom, Archmage's Charm in the middle, River's Rebuke in the second. Okay, great. Because I'm not able to do anything off of Neera here. Oh, I could have done it last turn. Yeah, I had 6 mana last turn, but I wanted to know what it was. That's where'd you go? Who knows? They're assembling the team. What do you search for? You found a land. Land to get sacrificed. Blood Moon. All right. I'll be honest, I don't really mind Blood Moon, because I'm a blue and red deck. I guess it made my Hall of Storm Giants Knight able to attack. That part's kind of a bummer. Hi, Soul of Windgrace! I think I'm going to cast a spell. What spell will I cast? Method's Enthusiasm. Oh boy. I have cast a spell. But it's not that spell. It's this spell. Omni! And I'll go ahead and bounce that. Never mind, we win. Bye, Soul of Windgrace. Jasoth Sun's Avatar. When it deals damage to you, it gets dinosaurs out of the deck and puts them right into play. His hand seems alright. We got an Agent of Rafine, Arcane Signet. It doesn't make too much of a difference me playing this on turn 1 versus turn 2. I lose 2 life because I'm doing this. If I don't get a land, I might actually prioritize trying to steal a land from them. But never mind. We are going to burn the elf. Goodbye, elf. Get some damage. I'm very enthusiastic about methoding them. Hello there. 1 land, please. Oh my gosh, thank you so much to stop. I love when we get land. We got an Arcane Signet. Now I'm either holding up Confounding Riddle, which is a modal counterspell, or stealing. And apparently, as I'm recording this, there have been commander bans announced. Great news, everyone! Dockside Extortionist has been banned. But it's not just that. It's also Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt, and Nadu. By the way, Nadu is, I believe, banned because of the same reason that Paradox Engine is banned. It's just a little too easy to go a little too long with it. If I deal damage to their ranging raptors with Shove Aside, they're going to get more land. I think I want to save this to trigger Neera next turn. I think that's a good idea. So I have a 1 mana spell. I have to get like a land first, but I might be able to get a land off Confounding Riddle. Who needs counterspells when I need a land? Everything else goes in the graveyard. Bye. Here comes Neera. She gets a perpetual buff of +3/+0. Thank you, Method's Enthusiasm. Now I'm going to go to shove the Ranging Raptors, but I'm not actually going to do that. Instead, I'm going to put that to the bottom of my deck and get a Prismari Commission. Okay, that's not that exciting. I will use this to make a treasure and deal 2 damage to their face. I like the cards in my hand with the amount of mana that I have, so I don't really feel like I need to, like, draw and discard too. Go get him, Agent of Rafine. There's no flash dinosaurs, right? Suddenosaurus. Okay, we're good. Perfect. Could have been like an Iganjo or something. Oh, Kogli and Yudaro destroying this. Yeah, I think that it's kind of nice that they're banning Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus. Mana Crypt I'm happy about being banned because I don't own one. Which, that's fair, right? I'm going to target Neera in this Ranging Raptor so I can cause a fight. But I'm not actually going to cause a fight because I'm instead going to get a Skyclave Relic. I could kick it. That sounds like good mana. Oh, they're leaving. GG just Flubs the Fool. Flubs is a bit of a storm deck. You cast cards and play lands, and if you have cards in your hand, you discard, and if you don't, you draw, meaning that you can dig deeper and 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 deeper into your deck until you get to the goods. Hey, Flubs. How you doing? Usually played with lots of things that either have landfall effects or let you play additional lands. Yeah, you can dig real deep with Flubs. Real deep with Flubs. I kept this hand because it has a turn 2 Ironcrag into a turn 3 Key to the Archives. Okay, never mind. It has a turn 2 Lighting a Snake on Fire. Which still, like, that's a pretty good move. I like a turn 2 Lighting a Snake on Fire. Now, if they do have to discard, they'll be able to play those discarded cards. And a Sylvan Tutor, possibly putting a Tireless Provisioner on top of their deck. Or Oracle. Also works pretty well. Nissa! Okay, so it is another similar card. I was expecting it to be more landfall, and it was more landfall. I wonder if they, like, already had the other one in hand. Huh. They are playing the fetch land before the Nissa they just played. Okay, because they have the Oracle in hand. So that was the other card. I was thinking like, oh, maybe they'll go for Oracle. They have another fetch here, too. That is Self-Hatch. Key to the archive. And we find ourselves a fancy little... Come on, Lightning Bolt! Come on, Lightning Bolt! You're not gonna fetch your fetch. Come on. Let me get the thing. Please, let me get the thing! Pretty please? Okay, I'll take a Time Warp, too. Time Warp, good. So I have 5, 6, 7, 8 mana next turn. I might just end up Time Warping. The classic 5 mana Explorer that untaps your lands. Yeah, I love that. It's great. Not a land on top of their deck. So I feel like play Nissa, crack the fetch is a pretty good start to the turn. Look for a land since they can play the lands on top. Also, if they get 2 landfall triggers, Nissa will get them an Elf or an Elemental. An Elfamental! There's a land! Oh, but the trigger? Oh, no, this is the first trigger. Okay. They get the Polluted Delta. Is there another land underneath? There is! There's another fetch! Oh, lucky you. You can play an awful lot of fetches in a 3-color deck. Isle of Galadriel. They have this Elvish Mystic. You can pop that down, and then flubs can come out this turn, because there was a land on top. Do you want to bring out flubs? No foolin'? Not yet. Okay, so there's another play additional lands effect card on top of their deck. That's great for them. I am going to go for Chandra. Trust me, I have a plan here. Chandra, we +2, we make the mana, we cast the Time Warp, then we +2 her again, play the land. We have enough mana for Ulamog. Ooh. Lamog.
When people start screaming, oh, this is gonna hurt.
Is Flubs kind of a Nombo with File? Yeah, because you draw 2 instead of 1, which means then you'd have to discard. I feel like you can't go as infinite with it. Flubs does have too much booty for Chandra. I will go ahead and name Human. You will get some mana. I'm going to play the Mog. Oh, I just realized I had enough mana for a Mind Stone, too. That's fine. We're going to hit Oracle of Moldiah and Nissa. Yeah, if you have the Containment Construct, then the discarded cards can still be used. No, I'm good. You're already big enough. So I have the Mog. Ooh, the Mog. A 13 power the Mog. So they can still play additional lands. They can't play them off the top of their deck. But if they set up right with flubs, that doesn't matter because you can go nuts with flubs. Ooh, a Tatiova! Get yourself even more card draw. And leave. Yeah, I wonder why they didn't, like, I don't know, crack that, see what they got, and just kind of play as a landfall deck. But they didn't want to. Also, because we had an Ulamog. Like, Ulamog against this deck is going to exile them because they need to be able to, like, unload their deck. And if they have no deck to unload... Oh, we're winning. Also, Chandra can kill a fish. Seared salmon. Good game. Omna, Locus of All. The more color pips you have in a spell, the better he is. And if you have 3 or more of those pips, then you get 3 mana. And you get a card in your hand. And it's pretty sweet. It's pretty much like, no matter what, I think you just get extra mana out of him. Which, cool. Or extra cards. Cool, card draw, good. You can also get extra mana out of him because he banks the mana at the end of your turn, turning it into black mana. I like that they have this, the Leyline of the Guild Pact. That's very cool for them. So this is going to mean that all of their lands are all of the colors. Well, I have ramp, so I will ramp. Leyline start, yup. name Human. And I can play Neera this turn, but I don't think I want to. I think I want to be, killing, like, Poison Dart Frog. Doesn't really matter what spell I cast. I just want to make sure I can cast a spell immediately after Neera resolves. And I can do that next turn, assuming these don't get destroyed. Alright, here comes Omnath. Bringing out Neera. Neera gets buffed. And I could kill Omnath, but I'd rather cast the Arms Scavenger. Hey, gets me a spell every turn. I like that. I love that. Next turn, I have enough for one with the multiverse. I guess I had enough this turn, too. But Neera. It's very, very awkward that Neera costs 6 mana to work. I spun the wheel and I got a 2-drop. At least it's the same mana value as this 2-drop. So Omnath did not reveal the top card, which means that it didn't have the Trippy Pippies. And they're putting Neera into my deck. Third from the top. Alright, I'm gonna put it in the command zone. I think we go with one with the multiverse. I'm gonna make the devils or blast everyone. I'll just blast everyone. That way Omnath dies too.
Really should have seen that coming.
And behold, boots. I could have also gone for Neera and just like tried to trigger, but I like having this one with the multiverse in play. Does the landline mean they have no 3-mana spells? No? I'm not sure how you got that. Omnath returns. The top spell is a Sweltering Sun, so I'm going to play Neera. Costs lots and lots of mana. Then I'm going to cast the Sweltering Suns, but we're going gambling! Put it on the bottom, and the next card is Mind Stone. It's a cool rock. All right, I'll give her haste because she's bigger than Omnath. Play this land, and go for it. Somebody's asking, how similar is Brawl and Commander? Fairly different. I would say that the most similar format to Brawl is Dual Commander. Dual Commander being 1v1 Commander. It also gets called like French EDH, Dual EDH. The big difference is that it has fewer cards in it. Life totals are a little different. You can have a Planeswalker as your Commander. And there's also some digital cards that exist in this. And there's also a whole bunch of cards that exist in Commander that are just not in Arena yet. Queso! The cheese! They get the 3 mana off of Queso being revealed here. Are they just like trying to decide if they want to play her? Oh, they're going for Luca! Luca. Luca can also do a lot of damage if they get a really big creature. I feel like I have enough mana. I think I should crack this Mind Stone. Dig deeper into my deck. Maybe I should save it for next turn in case there's a land on top. Wait, hold up. Things are happening. Time Warp! Alright, they take an extra turn. Saruman of many colors! Are they gonna cast the second spell? Are they gonna steal? It would get them the Method's Enthusiasm, I think. I would draw the Obelisk in response to the second spell cast. Yep. So in response to Saruman's trigger, because I don't want them getting the Obelisk, I'm gonna put it into my hand. Oh, monkey! Because it's, yeah, it's less than or equal to on the mana cost. Method's Enthusiasm. Deal 4 damage to Neera. So we have a free spell. I feel like we can throw this out here. It's not doing too much. 6 mana. I don't know. Bounce Luca, draw a card. So I can see what's on top. We're gonna put it on the bottom, see what we can get instead. Oh, Emrakul! Nice! Let me take their next turn. Even if it gets countered. Just have a Prismari command here. I could cast that on their turn to get another trigger from Neera. Or like their actual turn or their fake turn, since we're taking their next turn. I could also use this to, like, reset some of my hand. I think I'm gonna do that. Draw 2, discard 2, and destroy an artifact. Draw 2, discard 2, destroy the artifact. Yeah, that is a very sublime epiphany. Drop these. Can play this. Is it? Yeah, it's colorless mana on the boots. We're gonna get zooted up and booted up. Go to combat and try to swing for lethal. It's lethal. GG, Omnath. Sumit, Voice of Dissent. She's got Flash, Haste, Double Strike, Vigilance, and she can tap to untap something else. I feel like oftentimes when you see Sumit, she is Naya Legends, because she makes all the other creatures go fast too. I guess we'll just wait and see what kind of spells get cast. Things that maybe buff up Sumit, get them loads of damage. I'm really hoping we get another land here so I can play Chandra next turn and light something on fire. Well, they are going fast. They are going fast. I didn't get a thing. I'm going to cycle this for X equals 1. Looking for a land, please. Also get Jump Blocker. Alright, that's a mana rock for later. Cool rock. Unfortunately, that Lelia is probably going to get bigger than I can deal with. Very, very quick. If I get the land, then I can Obelisk. And then burn down the house next turn. And Lelia, unless they get another exile effect, will be at 5. I'm just going to tap the rune-carved Obelisk, though, to get some counters on it. Because the more counters it has, the bigger a spell it will get when I sacrifice it. Also, I'm sorry, I missed this. Jonas Mason. Jonas Mason? I don't know how to say your name, but thank you so much for 7. I see a John and a Ez in a Masin. GG. They found a way to make Lelia bigger. She survives this. Okay, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's fine. I get a land, see? Get a land. We name human. As we do. And then we use Hullbreaker Horror to block Lelia. I think I'm like almost dead anyway if they flash out somewhat an attack with her. But almost dead is not dead. It's just close to dead. Hi, Toski. Watch them like attack in and flip removal for the Hullbreaker. Lots of them already have it. Gets trained. Gets... Okay, that's Mikaeus. So that's fine. And we block. They still get to draw a card off of Toski. Well, this works out just fine. I'm okay with the Toski sitting around. I can bounce it later. Yeah, get your counters. Get your counters here. $1.50 a pop. Gonna bounce the henge. They could have gotten some very good guaranteed damage in, playing Sumut, putting a counter on her. The henge returns. Toski has to attack. Siege Veteran! Oh, that's even more counters! Yeah, all these counter things make sense with Sumut since she has double strike. Camille guarantees me 2 different cast triggers for the Hullbreaker Horror. So I guess I'll do that. Bounce the Toski. Sit here. Go on self-discovery. And, I just bounce the henge again. I'm like doing what I can, like gotta slow them down. Slow them down until the portal. I need 1 more mana, I think, for Portal to Phyrexia. Oh no, I only have 7 mana. Yeah, because I haven't gotten any mana sources since I played the Hullbreaker. Uh-oh. Itty bitty jitty. This is gonna force me to block Sumut. She deals combat damage, which allows them to activate something. Forsaken Crossroads will be coming in tapped. We scry. Oh my god, how was scry? I could replay her next turn. Doesn't really matter what's on top unless it's something, that I get something nuts off of. Neera. We will get our trigger from Camille. They can make it so something can't block. Alright, so we're gonna cast this, but we're not casting Ironcrag. We're gonna roll them bones! Neera, find me something awesome. Neera, find me something huge. Find me something beautiful. Find me something amazing. Alright, Fable to Mirror Breaker. it gets me a chump blocker. Unfortunately, since the itty bitty chitty over here, jitty jitty bang bang, says target creature can't block this turn, I have no blockers. And I lose the game. So we're gonna go ahead and hit you with the GG once you figure that out. But who knows? Maybe they won't figure it out. Oh, wait! They got there. Good game. I swing in, and the first strike takes us out. GG, Samut. Tom Bombadil. Tom Bombadil is 5 colors of sagas. Soon, by the way, we're getting another 5-color enchantments commander to go hang out with Tom Bombadil, but the next one also cares about rooms. Hey, Tom. Tom is like, whenever my one saga ends, I get another one, because it's just him telling stories that go on and on and on and on. Tom Bombadil's segment of the first Lord of the Rings book is pretty dang long. Grab this Cold Steel Heart, and I think I'll name blue on it. I don't think it matters too much. I have a good balance of colors in this hand. Somebody is saying, Neera Wild Mage seems like a very silly commander. Yes. Yes, she is. Hey! That was mine. Alright, well, in revenge, I'm going to destroy their Cold Steel Heart. Restoration of Iganjo gets them a plains. I imagine not that many basic plains in a 5-color deck. Yeah, in revenge. It's like in response. At least I get this back next turn. But it'll be tapped. Bring out Fable of the Mirror Breaker here. Nice. Oh, people in chat are arguing if the songs and the poems are good. I'll be quite honest, I read Lord of the Rings when I was about 12 years old, and I did not have the patience for all of the songs and poems. I read some of them. I did not read all of them. Elves are singing in the woods? Well, that's just great. I ain't reading all that. I'm not reading all of this. I'm gonna drop Shark Typhoon. Swing in with the Goblini. Ooh, extra turn. Yeah, let's grab the extra turn here. That flips. Could play the Cityscape Leveler. Play Camille. Would play Neera and then Arm Scavenger. I want to do the thing that my deck does. So here's Brotherhood's End. I'm going to deal 3 damage to each creature and planeswalker. Haha. Just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm gonna cast a Solar Transformer. Okay, so I turned 3 treasures into 1 mana rock. That's not the worst trade I've ever done. Now there's a 3/4 and a 2/2 discounting these enchantments. Tom Bombadil still has not come into play because he can't. This is 2 green mana. And there's no black mana. Yeah, it's like there's red, white, blue, green, extra green, no black. They had an opportunity to bring back their Cold Steel Heart off the 2nd chapter of Architect of Restoration. Didn't. Founding the 3rd Path. Brings back nothing, because they don't have anything. But they can Time Twist. Oh, cool. Okay, that gets Time Twist. It's going to come back, trigger again, and then they can get that Mind Stone. Or, not Mind Stone. Cold Steel Heart. they can get their cool rock back next turn. I think that if they had ordered this the other way, they would have gotten an extra cast off of this, though, since they would have been able to recast it, right? Oh, no! This was what let them cast it for free. I thought this was from Graveyard. Oh, it's the third chapter that's from Graveyard. Okay, that makes sense. Have a guy. And by which I mean, have a treasure! My spells can't be countered. I think this is the first time Neera has gotten to attack in all of the games I've ever played with her. Great job, Neera. We love you. And we discover a cool rock. I love cool rocks. I can use the mana from that cool rock to do reflections. I think if I read Lord of the Rings now, I might have more patience for it. I definitely have more patience for reading poetry. Listening to poetry, I've always been fine with, but I don't do the thing where I, like, read out loud in my head. Oh, it's a shame those weren't in the other order. Okay, I guess you would have to target, though. Binding the old gods. Who are you binding? Neera? Aw, Camille! Pass to attackers. I'm setting an end step stop here. I can use a reflection to make a goblini. And then we take the extra goblin for some extra treasures. And we want to start by triggering Neera. Give me something awesome! Okay. Me, my goblins. This is fine. They do have black mana now. So, like, Tom can come down, but he won't see these sacrificing this turn. Actually, let's start with... I'm going to start with the rune-carved obelisk. I'm just turning my mana into, like, slightly more different mana. And I do have 2 mana up for a braid. My goblins. I've got a Teferi's Time Twist. I can use that to reset one of these sagas before it gets sacrificed. You gotta land. If they cast this, they do have to pay the mana for it. They're gonna get the destruction here. Here's Tom Bombadil. I assume they target Neera. I'm gonna use a braid to deal 3 damage to target creature. Haha, just kidding. No, I'm not. I'm going to instead cast Emrakul, the Promised End! I just think she's neat. And she does 13 damage. Yippee! Good game, Tom. Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. Gwenna taps for 2 mana, but that mana can only be spent for creature things. And if you cast a creature with 5 power, she untaps. I have some crazy good ramp in this hand and then an extra turn spell. So I feel the potential here could be pretty sweet. Bramble? Scramble? I could make their Bramble Familiar insignificant, but already it's turn 1 ramp that I'm a lot more afraid of from Gwenna. If it's like a turn 1 Llanowar Elf into turn 2 Gwenna, it's like, oh no. I'm in danger. But right here, they have 4 mana. They could either play like 4 mana spell. Oh, they're gonna grab another land. And then I think Gwenna. I think we go Midnight Clock into insignificant here. Utter insignificance. Just gonna throw that onto Gwenna so she can't be used for extreme ramp. Like, listen, they have 5 mana without even playing more lands. They had 7 mana. Now 8. So here comes prime time. They're ramping. We're ramping. Everybody here is ramping. Scrambling and rambling. I play the Crag. And I go for an extra turn. And if I get a 1 mana spell here, or 2 mana spell, I'd be able to throw down Neera and trigger her this turn. So I'm a little worried about them having a way to kill her, like a big fight monkey. This is an example. So I feel like maybe I want to go for Seagate. Yeah, let's just get a couple extra cards in hand. Also, no maximum hand size. Yay, no maximum hand size. Next turn, I have a way to trigger Neera. Arm Scavenger. Arm Scavenger in this deck because it can make a spell every single turn for me, which is great for Neera. It's also like a decent early threat since it can just get really good equipment. Ooh, Vaultborn Tyrant. I feel like I'm going to need a mass bounce spell. But they have so many lands that I'm not sure that would make a difference. You like their Arcane Signet art? It's kind of creepy looking. Creepy in a good way, though. Lots of heroes into Neera. I think I'm going to trigger Neera with the Worn Power Stone. We're going to throw that to the bottom and get... Lightning Bolt? Really? Come on. I love going down in mana value. Well, it's fine. I think they're trying to calculate out how much damage they can get into something here. No, it's Defiler Vigor. I thought you were going to go for a Lair of the Hydra. For like 10 mana. They could still do that. Cards like Kayla's Kindling are okay in this deck too, since they get you extra stuff each turn. I think they may have lethal. Oh, they totally have lethal! Good game, Gwenna, Eyes of Gaia. I'm so happy I got to ramp. But like, oof, we did not get any of our board wipes. Too bad, so sad, too late, no hate. And we die. Excellent. Svella, Ice Shaper. She taps to make a Mana Stone. She makes, actually, Icy Manalith, which is just a Manalith that makes snow mana. I kind of like the curving here, going Agent of Rafine into either stealing Mind Stone or using the Molten Impact. Lots of good choices on 2. Not exactly the best thing to be hitting with Molten Impact, but still, cool. I could steal or I could ramp. I choose ramp this time. This time. I'm probably stealing next turn. She's the fair Roxanne. She's more like the fair Kinnan to me. She makes mana, and then she has this activated ability that requires a tap that can get you a free spell from the top cards of your deck. Just gonna bop her, since this comes in tapped. If I had an untapped land, I think I would have gone Uncarved Obelisk into Stealing. Okay, there's an untapped land. Nice scraps. You are being so silly today. It's cooler out, you can kind of tell from the flannel. And it makes her very energetic. She keeps coming in the room. Okay, I reached down to grab her and she hopped over my arms. She's being a hater. Little kitten hater. Otawara, Soaring City. Use that for the rune-carved obelisk. And I'm not even gonna wait, I'm gonna do crime right now. Because I can. Ooh, Fable to Babel. Great card. Yeah, both of us are kind of like a free spell commander that's more difficult to execute. But theirs needs to untap and cast a ton of, or use a lot of mana for it. Oh, speaking of Roxanne, we found her! If I get a land, and we did, I think I should Cityscape Leveler the Roxanne, just because she is a problem. I also don't have a way to trigger Neera. Let's go for the Leveler. Otherwise, the Treasure and the Meteorite would be each tapping for 2 Nectar, and that's so much mana. We've got Jin-Gitaxias, Neera. If I get another mana source, we can go Neera, cast the Fable of the Mirror Breaker, but actually get whatever the other thing is. Don't call it the Skibbity-Scape Leveler. Maybe do, because it certainly scared our opponent off. GG, Svella. Yarok, the Desecrated. Doubler of Enter the Battlefield abilities for all sorts of permanents. I like this hand because it has a little ramp. It does have a board wipe that can hit Yarok, though it is, you know, a little slow. We get a Scry, maybe a Surveil off one of our fetches. That should help me set up, though, as we get to our Cold Steel Heart and we get into Smackdown, the Elemental Horror. Step 1, though, I think we're gonna take a look at what's on top of the library. A library has a book in it, or a mountain in this case. We've got Mountain, which means turn to a Cold Steel Heart without having used the fetches yet. Okay, Yarok, are you going to start by ramping? You do have green. You're going to hold up mana for counter spells and creatures with cool abilities. Kill spells? Or are you going to sit there and do nothing? Because it's your turn. Okay, Woodland Cemetery comes in tapped. I think they probably have, like, a land that comes in untapped, but nothing good to sequence into. We've all been there. Red. It's always awkward when you have, like, all of your high-cost spells in hand. Like, ooh, Neera doesn't need this. We do have ways to put them back into the deck, though. Or into the graveyard, and we can just kind of ignore them. Dearest opponent, I'm sure you have game actions you can take. And not that many of them. Please take them. Gonna bring out the Polluted Delta. I'm not even gonna bother, like, holding it, cracking it later. I'm gonna be quick about my game actions, and Surveil! Mystic Sanctuary, I do have the potential for 3 islands, so I'm going to keep this. We have 1 island, a 2nd island, a 3rd island, and then Mystic Sanctuary, which we could use to bring back, like, Burden in the House. In case I need to wipe the board twice, which I certainly might. Yarok, please. Yarok? Thank you, Yarok. Now hit me. Hit me! Hit me with your snake! It has been many moons since the game began. I have passed priority to you. I don't know, I'm kind of getting the feeling that they're just gonna leave. Burden down the house! Let's go! They're admiring my house burnt down. Of course, that's the only sort we got. Ancient Corn, a bit of ramp. They might be playing on mobile. Maybe. This comes in tapped. I'm not setting up for the burn down the house since they did not play any creatures. I'm just gonna set up for Neera instead. Neera, nothing to trigger her, that's fine! It's about the threat. The threat of the action. Ooh, some sort of an obelisk. A tormentor. I'm gonna play Room Carved Obelisk. I'm gonna tap it just to increase the charge. I'm gonna use my fetch to fetch a thing. This thing. And pass the turn. Because that gives me more mana. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 next turn, which is enough for you or you. Or I could use you to cast you. Because it's free spells. Neera's here. They could have counter spells. Again, like it's Yerok. They have the colors for it. Spring Bloom Druid. They could sacrifice 2 lands and get 4 lands. Even better if they had landfall stuff like you and you. Hope they don't do anything too crazy. Like, play a card. Spring Bloom's been the MVP for you. I like any of the things that like get you more lands. Basics achieved. They're then Eldritch Evolutioning, so they can turn this into anything up to 5 mana from their deck. I'm trying to think what I would grab. Maybe Hostage Taker to take the 2 artifacts. I think Hostage Taker would be my pick. What is my favorite Modern Horizons 3 card? I don't know. They're all kind of busted. You got your Ocelot Pride, you got your Johnnies, your Grists. There were a lot of them. Oh, I think that they may have sacrificed that without, like, a plan of what they wanted. And now they're scrolling. And scrolling. And scrolling and scrolling. Okay, Risen Reef! That's a cute one. It double triggers with Yerok, and if Yerok leaves and comes back, it will trigger some more. Beseju in a Watery Grave, so they get 2 more lands into play, and I take 3 damage and they gain 3 life. I'm gonna use Mystic Sanctuary. I'm gonna put Burn Down the House back on top of my library. Oh, would you look at that? I'm gonna be one with the multiverse! Oh, look, I could cast that for free, but I'm not going to. Instead, I'm gonna cast, ooh, the Mog. And I'm gonna exile Yerok and the Risen Reef. And now I have a 10/10 Indestructible on board. Oh, I do like Springheart Nantucket. Giving green a clone spell, very brave. Also, kind of wild. They're thinking. How's everybody's day? It's good, right? Nice Monday when I'm recording this. Ooh. Behold! Ulamog! You didn't expect Is It ramp into Ulamog? Well, maybe you should learn to expect the unexpected. Because it's Neera, Wild Mage. Scraps? Oh, hello, sweet girl. Would you like to play Magic the Gathering? Come here, darling. Come on. Come here. Yeah, come here. Oh, little kitty, you're standing in the doorway so nervously. Do you want headphones to play with? Yeah, you want to play with the headphones? Yeah, you see, she's coming in. She's coming in. She says, headphones look like they could be a good treat. I could eat a headphone. What are they doing? Scrying. Okay, cool. Getting some life. Aw, she's playing with them. Good girl. Little old lady cat. Keeping me entertained while my opponent takes their turn. Meow. Meow. Yeah, she wants to play with headphones instead of string because she's a modern day gamer cat. She's the youth. My little Shibbity Wizard. My My turn. What's on top of the deck? A land. What's underneath the what's on top of the deck? Boop. Kitty. Okay, so we're gonna play Neera. Gonna play Neera. My commander, it's Neera. Okay, I am going to pay 2 mana for Crag. But it's not an Iron Crag, it's actually... Ragavan! Oh, I love it, monkey. Ooh, free portal. Beep beep. Out of the way. Yeah, she plays with a touchscreen instead of a mouse. Gamer cat. And we attack our opponent and we exile 20 cards from their deck. Everybody says good morning to the fluffy princess. Let's go say good morning back. Good morning. Oh, she is so happy here. Ready? Smoochers. Smoochers for cats. Smoochers for the meow. Smoochers for the meow. Oh, baby, no pause on the keyboard, please. Oh, she wants these! She wants the headphones! Oh, so good. This is so cute, girl, yeah! Booga, booga, booga. She's purring. She's purring while our opponent continues to take their sweet, sweet time. All right, girl, you want brushies? You love brushies. Brush, 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 brush. A ravenous chupacabra. Neera's dead. Move her back to the command zone. That's a very great henge you got there. And a delighted halfling will draw them a card, get a +1/+1 counter, and they gain 2 life off that henge. Now what do I want? Ooh, a tireless provisioner. That seems good. Yeah, thanks, girl. I will cast this for 2 mana. But it's not actually a Malevolent Hermit, it's a... Okay, Anger of the Gods. It kills the monkey and the other thing. It's still good. I'll do it. I'm gonna cast this. For the devil. And I'm also, I played the untapped land instead of Hall here. Because this is going to allow me to play the Eaten by Piranhas on their turn. And I could even cast it targeting my own stuff. And I would do that just to trigger Neera because it's fun. Culling Ritual on my devils? I guess that's fine. I get a lot of mana. I get to bop it though. Bop it. Blast it. Ultimate attack. It also got rid of my Cold Steel Heart. What was this? Nashi? Nashi brings back spell from graveyard. What spell is it going to be? You know what? You figure it out. I am gonna cast a spell and turn it into a different spell. Tomini Infinite! Yeah. Put it on the bottom. I don't care. Heck yeah! This gives me spells every turn for Neera. You hear that, girl? You hear that, girl? Girl, how did you get a knot in your tummy, Fluff? Girl, how did you get a knot in your tummy, Fluff? Did you get back a ravenous chupacabra? Wait, oh, that wasn't even in their graveyard. That got exiled. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you being? You being silly? Beginning of cat shedding season. No, my cat sheds all year. Tommy of Bamboo Groves draws them a card. Actually, 2 cards. Because the Great Henge triggers twice. Very nice. Very nice to trigger twice. And I'm gonna grab the Ringbloom Dreadnought Lotus Cobra. Okay, I want to get my various, like, it's like I want my free spell, but I also want the Neera trigger. But it's like, it's gonna get me this for free anyway, so I'm just gonna cast it. Girl, I love you. You're so good. Let's exile half their deck. Wow, there's actually, like, not a lot of cards left in their deck. Ulamog's gonna finish milling them this turn. Oh, sweet. Emrakul. That's a lot of Eldrazi, Neera. Are you okay? Oh, she's still chasing the headphones. That's so cute. Alright, they have no cards left in their deck. Garrick player? I don't know what you have, but you're going to die in upkeep. Okay, I can now see what they have. 1 second. I don't know why it revealed their hand, but it was a Lotus Cobra, Yahenni's Expertise, and Paradise Druid. Great. But if I'm controlling them when they lose, they still lose. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars, and thank you again to highshelf for subscribing as one of the big dogs and asking for a Neera deck. I hope you like this video. For everybody else, if you're looking for the deck list, it is below in the video description. And if you play this deck, please let me know what spell you turned into what other spell. If you managed to cast a lightning bolt and turn it into a portal to Phyrexia, please let me know. That sounds awesome. Also, if you would like to request a deck from Duskmourn for me to add to my list of commanders to brew, please do leave a comment saying, hey, you know what I want to see? I want to see Nashi again. I already published Nashi, but I could make a meaner version of Nashi that's not designed for playing against my friends. Thank you all so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.